Welcome back to another edition of Fly Tying with Jim Misiura. Today I'm going to tie an articulated Hemingway Stonefly. The hook that I have in the vise is a Hemingway. This is a Nymph, barbless Nymph hook, and this is number HC114, size 12, 1 extra strong and 2 extra long. Nice color, it's like a blackish color. I'm going to start with some lead-free wire, 15 thousandths lead-free wire. It's going to be articulated, so having weight on the back is not going to be a problem. It's still going to flop around. We're going to go and we're going to put maybe about 15 on here. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we'll go a few more. Yeah, about 18 looks good. Take my nail clippers and clip off that excess. The only thing I don't like about the lead-free wire is it doesn't break as easily as the lead wire, but it also doesn't hurt any kind of wildlife if you lose it and they happen to eat it. I'm going to use an orange thread, and this is Danville 70 denier. I'm going to start that behind the eye, and now I'm going to push that lead up there, get that to the position I want, and then I'm going to hold it there in place until I get the thread on the lead. Put several wraps behind it. And I can break that off. Now I'm going to put on a rib. I'm going to use a copper wire, extra fine copper wire for my rib. Don't need a lot. And we're going to tie this in. Actually going to tie it in on the far side there. Doesn't matter if you have a little larger of a tag there. It all wraps in. Now before I put the tail on, I'm going to put a small ball of my dubbing on there. And for dubbing, I'm going to use Hemingway deer hair dubbing, and this is yellow. After you twist it on there, it gets dirty. Doesn't look like it looks in the package. So I'm just going to take a small amount and turn that upside down. And I'm going to get a lot of the deer actual hairs out of it. Just get that under fur. You can see that those hairs coming off it. There we go, and we'll just kind of make a little bit of a ball right there. Now for the tail, I'm going to use, these are brown Goose Biots. They're not as brown looking when they're individual. You could probably use a tan. You could actually even use a yellow one. And go ahead and take them off. And I'm going to use the natural curve of that Biot. And I'm going to make this tail about half the length of this hook. Going to take the other one and find that natural curve again and place that on the opposite side, and I'm just going to measure it to the length on the butt section, and I'll have them both the same size. And bring that thread back nice and tight to that ball. You get a nice division there. Just quickly wrap them in. Now I'm going to take the abdomen section of the Hemingway wing buds and back, bottom there, the abdomen, and you can see there's a white spot on there, so we're going to make sure that we get all of that white tied in. Keep it towards me just a little bit and it'll end up on top. Yeah, kind of try to keep that straight. Don't go pulling on it, because you can pull it right off. Once the rib gets on there, it's not going to be any problem. I'm going to turn that upside down once again. Going to take my dubbing again. And I'm going to pull out some of those actual deer hairs. But leave them in and it'll be a little spiky. That's good, actually. And do a little bit at a time and wrap it. Just want to look and make sure I get it. There we go. Get that one more piece. And I'm not putting any moisture on my fingers to make it real tight. I kind of want it a little bit bushy there. So that way when I wrap the rib, you're going to see segmentations more. At least that's the plan. And we're going to bring that right up. And one deer hair I don't like. There we go. Put several wraps there by the head, if you want to call it that. Now I'm going to take my abdomen section and fold that over again, and that comes up right nicely to the eye. Now I can take my rib, I'm going to hold it, especially for that first wrap. Okay, it didn't want to catch, it will on the next one. There we go. And one more wrap at the front. Bring that up for the tie-in position. Got a nice body right there, a nice abdomen right there. Go ahead and give that several wraps right there, building the head. That extra fine wire will just break right off for you. Come back there a little bit. Just building that head there. Ah, there we go. Nice and secured. We'll give this a whip finish. Take the poke and snip, cuticle trimmer. Snip that off. Gonna put a little bit of head cement on that knot. If you'd like, you could actually put UV cure on there. And go right around with this. And I can see I got the eye, but we're going to put a tie-in section, so we'll be good. Take another Hemingway barbless hook number 12. Tighten that up in the vise. Now you can put a bead on there if you'd like. I'm not going to. I'm just going to put more lead wire on there. But before I do that, I'm going to start at the back here. Oh, break that off. That didn't come off too well. Still got a little piece there. We'll take care of that. Now I'm going to take my abdomen section. And the most important part of this is making sure that you don't tie it in upside down. Just going to hold that. Take a couple of wraps on it. Make sure that it's not upside down. I could tighten it there or move it to the length I want. I'm going to take that hook and I'm going to put it in the space in the vise. Just to kind of help keep that in place there. Go ahead and wrap this up. And that back hook came out. Now you can pull this back, put a few wraps on top of it, and that's going to ensure that it's not going to come apart. Go ahead and trim that. Now I'm going to get my thread out of the way. Just hang that off the back of the vise there. Going to take the 15 thousandths lead wire again. Actually, I'm going to take 20 thousandths lead wire. Keep that front section a little bit heavier. And we'll put some on there. This time I'm going to start just about at the point. 3. And we'll give it 15. Go ahead and break that off. And now take the nail clippers again. And we'll secure that wire. When you wrap wire over a thread base, it's not going to move. Bring your thread up front. You get it right up there close to the eye. Now I'm going to take the wing bud section of this. And again, because these are older ones, we have that white spot on there. They do come almost transparent now, which they're pretty nice too. They will show the dubbing through them better. And you can see that little bit there. They actually have eyes on them. I'm not going to worry if I get a little bit of that. And if it depends on those little eyes for them to take it, they could keep it. Now before we go and put the dubbing on, we have to put the legs on. And the Stonefly Nymph rubber legs, last one in this package. These are the medium ones. And these are the golden yellow or the golden stone legs. And before I go and put it on, I'm going to trim the front a little bit more, and I'm going to trim the back. When you get these, if you haven't bought these yet, they actually come, 2 of them, 2 sets are connected. Now you can see they have a little groove, a little channel in them. I'll put it that way. You got that channel, and you can put that right down over the hook or the lead wraps. Put a couple of wraps tight on that front. Go to the middle. I usually like to get about 3 or 4 or 3 to 5. Go to the next section. Oh, got a little bit tight on that one. Sometimes when you tie them in, the legs might kind of go out of place, but when you put the dubbing in, that's going to correct that. And that back hook is flopping around on me there. There we go. Now I can put the dubbing on. Going to take that same yellow deer hair dubbing, and I'm going to make this noodle a little bit larger because the thoraxes are larger than the abdomens. But don't try to overdo it with the dubbing because you want it larger, because you can always add more. Just remember that you can always add more. I got a little bit left in my fingers here, so I'm going to go ahead and put that on. And we're going to wrap this. And I kind of want it a couple extra wraps there on the back. It's still going to flop. And the reason I want those couple extra wraps is after I'm done, I'm going to get the dubbing teaser and kind of pull a little bit of that dubbing off the back section just to try to hide that joint a little bit. Now, when you get up to the legs, it's important to get the underside of the legs properly. I'm going to just look at them this way here, and then do the crossover on the bottom. Bring that dubbing between them, and I have to add more already. But you can see how that crossover just disappeared. And we'll come up to it. I'm going to do the crossover. Got one deer hair there. We'll pluck that out. And we're adding more. Now I'm going to get it a little bit thinner here to get up to the head area. Let's see how good that one comes out. Okay, and now the crossover. It's simple. I don't cross over on the top, only on the bottom. Give that one an extra, get that up there. Then I'm going to move my thread back between the first and second set of legs again. And that thread, if you see it a little bit of dubbing teasing will cure that. Now before I go and fold that over, that deer hair hanging on there, there we go. I'm going to take Loctite super glue, and this is control gel. You can get very small amount on there. Very fine. I mean, very little bit at a time you could get out. I'm going to just put a little bit there. Get it down those buds, or those little wing pads. And you do have a little bit of working time with this. Now I'm going to take it and fold it up. Yep, didn't want to, but guess I'm gonna have to. I touched the super glue, and there we go. Put that right back there in place. I'm gonna squeeze it in. Now I'm gonna put a couple wraps right there, right in front of that. Yeah, 2 or 3. Move that thread to the front, and I'm going to make a bit of a head there. And I can whip finish. Go ahead and tie that off. snug it up, hit it with the cuticle trimmer, and I'm actually going to put a little bit of head cement on the head itself. That super glue is not touching it, so keep it away from the eye. Yeah, I get the eye. But when we get the eye, we take a small feather that's laying on the table. And we'll run it through the eye. Wow, I got it on the first shot. And you could actually run it back and forth if you want. That eye is now cleaned out. Going to take my dubbing teaser, just a little piece of Velcro on the popsicle stick. I'm going to tease that out a little bit, especially that back piece there. Just enough to kind of try to get that to extend towards the back there a little bit. This is a little bit thick for that hook gap. If that's not working, take your bodkin needle and pick it out. That's what they did before the invention of Velcro. Use a little needle. Now, one last thing to do before we finish this, I'm going to put some markings on the legs. And I use just a piece of cardboard. I'm going to get the bottoms of them first. Just get a couple markings on there. Just be careful with your Sharpie that you don't go and mark up your dubbing. I will get the top piece. Yeah, it looks like that one there needs a little, looks like it missed actually. There we go. And here we have an articulated Hemingway golden stone. And you can see that abdomen section flopping around, and that's basically what's going to happen to it in the water. It's going to be moving around and give you a nice wiggle. So I hope that you learned something from this video. I hope that you would subscribe to my channel. Please refer me to your friends. Please visit my sponsors. Let them know that I sent you. Leave comments, questions, suggestions. If you'd like to purchase any flies that I make, go to etsy.com/shop/flymanjim. And if you don't see it, send me a message and we'll figure out what we need to do. And most of all, thank you very much for watching my videos.